My name is Jessie Krapser, and I will be presenting a report and analysis of T-Mobile compiled by myself, Morgan Benson, and Tracy Flanagan. Let's get started with the history of T-Mobile. It began in 1994, as some of you may remember, VoiceStream Wireless. And then in '99, VoiceStream went out on their own. They were part of a parent company known as Western Wireless. By 2001, VoiceStream was purchased by a German communications company known as Deutsche Telekom for about $35 billion. And today, Deutsche retains 66% ownership of T-Mobile. And at the time they were purchased, they were renamed T-Mobile. And the name came from Deutsche Telekom Mobile, DT Mobile for short. And they are headquartered here in beautiful Bellevue, Washington. T-Mobile doesn't have a section to specifically outline their mission statement. Instead, they approach it informally by being customer friendly and stating why they are in the business for their customers. The CEO has been noted as making statements like, "We are all about our customers and customers are number one." On their website, they do have a blurb to give you an idea of their mission. It's in a world full of busy and fragmented lives. We at T-Mobile USA have this idea that wireless communications can help. The value of our plans, the breadth of our coverage, and the reliability of our network, and the quality of our service are meant to do one thing: help you stick together with the people who make your life come alive. That's why we're here. Although T-Mobile has grown in recent years and currently services 59 million customers, their position in the global marketplace is only 12% of the population. This chart is a comparison of them against other cell phone carriers. T-Mobile's organizational structure is set up under a functional structure, which is organized by traditional functional areas such as accounting, marketing, operations, and finance. They are comprised of a group of managers and directors and a board of directors. T-Mobile uses a formal line of authority with defined structures. Let's talk about T-Mobile's decision-making process. They pride themselves on making ethical decisions. For most of their decisions, like marketing for example, they follow the classical rational model, working through the problem in a methodical, coherent manner. However, sometimes T-Mobile is required to make retrospective decisions or rationalize their choices after they have been made. One such example of this was in 2014 when the FCC fined T-Mobile and all other wireless carriers for overcharging customers for a premium texting service. T-Mobile CEO explained in his blog that the charges actually went to a third party and that T-Mobile had severed its relationship with that party, stressing that T-Mobile wanted to be completely transparent with its customers. Now, the wireless company doesn't have control over every decision they make. Government regulations dictate many decisions. Not only does T-Mobile have the same laws to follow as other businesses, the government regulates their degree of coverage in a certain area, forcing them to lobby. T-Mobile must also take into consideration any rules or regulations brought by the FCC, the Federal Communication Committee, who regulates all phone companies. Let's talk about their operations management. Their chief operating officer is Michael Sievert, and he is responsible for all operations at T-Mobile. Of course, they have many lower-level operations managers at call centers and sales. And their operating costs have increased due to their overall business increase in recent years. Their most significant operating costs are new customers, employee compensation, and operating and expanding their 4G LTE network. Now, let's take a look at a balance sheet for 2014 operations. As you can see, the bottom line figure is $247 million. Moving on to control techniques. T-Mobile's management style is a little different. It's been pioneered by their CEO, John J. Legere. He became the company's CEO in 2013 and has been innovating things ever since. He's very energetic and known as autocratic, meaning that one manager, Mr. Legere, makes decisions unilaterally for the company. He's been known to be demanding and impatient by employees. And he's also gotten mixed reviews on a lot of websites like Glassdoor, and that micromanagement is a problem. It is said, however, that he brings a lot of energy and style to the team. Let's take a look at their human resources strategy and functions. T-Mobile currently employs approximately 45,000 people. They operate under a code of conduct, which they expect all employees and upper management to follow. T-Mobile also follows a code of ethics. They set a high ethical standard and were recognized by the Ethisphere Institute as the 2015 World's Most Ethical Company. They also function with an open door policy. They embrace diversity, not because it's the right thing to do, but because it breaks down barriers and allows them to rewrite the rules. T-Mobile's also been recognized as a top employer. They've received 5 Best Place to Work awards from employees in 5 different cities. And according to employee reviews from a third-party site, they offer a great benefit package and there is room for advancement. T-Mobile does a lot to motivate employees in their customer service call centers and company-owned stores. Employees fielding questions from subscribers find the answers by collaborating with their peers and searching for knowledge-based articles in what they call T-Community, the company's social business environment built on Jive. T-Mobile implemented the Jive Advanced Gamification module, powered by Bunchel Nitro, to engage users and motivate them to explore and familiarize themselves with a redesigned T-Community experience. Using gamification elements that are seamlessly integrated into the T-Community user environment, employees can now earn status and rewards for using T-Community. Posting answers and questions and liking content and competitive elements enable them to monitor and compare with their progress with that of their peers. T-Mobile is noted for using groups and teams. It's a very important aspect of working for T-Mobile, and it's on many of their job postings, and many of their positions require team skills. In fact, as part of their employee handbook, they cite a section known as Team Together, Team Apart, and where people are encouraged to seek the opinions of others, and they are to address issues and not individuals, and fully stand behind team decisions. Of course, communication at T-Mobile is key. They are a communications company after all, but from what we found, communication within the organization is very informal. As we already talked about, the CEO, who's known for sporting a pink shirt, is very informal with employees and with the public. It's that kind of environment, and many employees cite a fun and engaging atmosphere to work in. And we're talking about a CEO that is known for blogging and Twitter. T-Mobile likes to give back to the community when natural disasters strike, as well as many community-based activities and projects like charities. They feel it is their responsibility to help others in need when at all possible. They strive for new partnerships to expand their commitment to their communities. One example of this is cited on their community support page. In 2006, T-Mobile launched Huddle Up, a national community outreach program that connects kids, primarily from single-parent families in high-need urban communities, to positive people. In 2012, T-Mobile's recycling program earned them a Supply Chain Distinction Award in the Green Supply Chain category. Since 2008, T-Mobile has been bringing customers together to take positive action in helping the environment with their handset and accessory recycling program. Through the program, customers can drop off old phones free of charge. And since they started the program, they've recycled more than 950,000 cell phones. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, for every 1 million cell phones recycled, that's 35,000 pounds of copper, 772 pounds of silver, 75 pounds of gold, and 33 pounds of palladium. In addition, T-Mobile has saved enough energy to power more than 185 U.S. households with electricity for a year. Let's talk about T-Mobile's value chain activities, something that is constantly changing in the wireless world. T-Mobile offers a variety of service plan options and a wide selection of wireless devices from various manufacturers. They are currently the largest provider of prepaid service and the third largest provider of postpaid service. That was as of last month. Now, postpaid service refers to the traditional month-to-month plans, paid after the service or postpaid. T-Mobile is distributed in around 62,000 retail stores, and this includes third-party retailers like Best Buy and Radio Shack. And they have the densest 4G LTE network in the nation, covering about 90% of people in the United States. Now, their most recent campaign, some of you may have heard of, known as the Un-carrier plan, is the first plan of its kind, and it rolled out in 2013. There is no contract, unlimited voice and texting, unlimited data, depending on the amount you want to pay, that is. They also offer rollover data. The data that you don't use rolls over to the next month. Unlimited music downloads. This means not that you don't have to pay for the actual downloads, but when you're downloading music, it doesn't count against your data usage. And you are allowed to use your own phone, or you can purchase a phone and finance it through their monthly payment options. Now, when you do that, when you have a monthly phone payment, it turns out that your overall payment between your contract and your phone are pretty much equal to the old plans, and where you're under contract and you're not necessarily paying for your phone, but you are in your monthly service plan. Now, since they rolled out this plan, it's become very popular and other major providers have followed suit. So I decided to do my own research just to find out how much value is in this Un-carrier plan. So I checked with all major cell phone providers, and across the board, the monthly fees are all pretty similar. The features are also similar. Sprint was the only one that offered with its base plan unlimited data. You are able to get unlimited data with T-Mobile, but that comes out to about $80 a month. One feature that T-Mobile has over the competition is rollover data. And so I analyzed a 24-month cost in the scenarios, and theirs was actually the lowest, but not by a landslide. After a thorough SWOT analysis of T-Mobile, we found the following. Under strengths, T-Mobile is the nation's third largest cell phone provider. They are also the seventh largest multinational provider. T-Mobile is very popular in the United States as well as in the United Kingdom. They offer no contracts and unlimited data. They have a strong leadership team, and their customer service is also strong. and they have high employee satisfaction and benefits. Now, for weaknesses. Customers must pay full price for their devices. If they leave early before their device is paid off, they have to pay the remainder of the balance. Sometimes they have poor service and dropped calls. They have no presence in key emerging markets, only in developed countries. And although their overall revenue is up, their revenue per user is slowly declining. Now, moving on to opportunities. They can increase their sales by reducing startup costs. Addition of wireless devices like tablets and Wi-Fi or smartwatches can increase company subscriptions. And they should expand to global markets. It wouldn't hurt to increase their 4G and 3G LTE service in the United States. Let's talk about the threats. The recession is always a threat. The most recent recession slowed their business. Employee costs are always rising. T-Mobile is international, meaning the international barrier can pose a threat to the company as a whole. And they are considered behind in technology compared to their competitors. Transitions to a new billing system was recently talked about. And last but definitely not least, they are in a very competitive market with Verizon, AT&T, and Sprint. Some recommendations that we have for T-Mobile. To help improve, T-Mobile should strive to penetrate more of the cell phone usage population, currently only servicing 12% of those that use cell phones. They could do this by increasing advertising to reach more target audiences. Social media is mainstream and would reach a variety of people and keep T-Mobile on the top of everyone's mind. Focusing on reaching the up and coming generation of the millennials would be key in this. Now, another suggestion we have would be to work on improving coverage areas and the amount of dropped calls customers have. They could do this by purchasing and installing more cell phone towers to help ensure larger and better coverage areas. Now, if they offered lower priced smartphones for those that don't want to finance a phone, that would be a great option, and that would really stamp out the competition. They may be able to do this by approaching manufacturers for volume sales to lower prices. And they could also expand their marketing and branding of the Un-carrier. We saw in the Aflac analyzation how important marketing can be to the success of a company. And I feel like they haven't done a really good job of marketing their Un-carrier plan.